You know, there's something I've noticed as I've gotten older. Little things that used to be effortless, like standing up from a chair or walking across the room, sometimes feel a bit more uncertain. And if you've ever caught yourself wobbling just a little when you stand still, or holding onto the counter for balance while you're in the kitchen, well, you're not alone. Balance isn't something we think about until it starts to slip away. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to. That's why today I want to share something simple but powerful, a 5-second test that can tell you a lot about your balance. And if you find it's not as strong as it used to be, don't worry. I'll also show you exactly what to do about it. Because here's the truth. Falls aren't just accidents. They're often a sign that our balance needs a little attention. And the good news is we can work on that. So let's start with the test. It's something you can do right where you are. No special equipment needed. Stand up straight. Make sure you're near a counter or chair in case you need to steady yourself. And lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Can you hold it there for 5 seconds without swaying, grabbing onto something, or putting your foot down? If you can, that's wonderful. But if you can't, that's okay too. It just means we've got a little work to do, and I'll walk you through it, step by step. Now, you might be wondering why this matters. Well, balance is like a muscle. If we don't use it, we lose it. And as we age, our bodies naturally start to rely more on our vision for stability, which is why dim lighting or uneven surfaces can trip us up. But the secret is training our balance before it becomes a problem. And the best part, it doesn't take hours at the gym. Just a few minutes a day can make all the difference. So, let's talk about the first thing you can do to strengthen your balance. It's called weight shifting, and it's as easy as standing with your feet hip-width apart and gently shifting your weight from one foot to the other. You can do this while you're brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. The key is to go slow and controlled, no rushing. Feel the muscles in your legs and ankles working to keep you steady. If you need to hold on to something at first, that's perfectly fine. Over time, you'll notice it gets easier, and that's when you can challenge yourself a little more. Another great exercise is heel-to-toe walking. Picture how you'd walk on a tightrope, placing one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe. You don't need to go far, just a few steps at a time. This one's especially helpful because it mimics the kind of balance we need when we're walking in tight spaces or on uneven ground. And if you feel unsteady, try it along a hallway where you can lightly touch the wall for support. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What if I've already had a close call or even a fall? First, I want you to know it's never too late to start improving. In fact, the sooner we address it, the better. And the best way to avoid future falls isn't just about exercises, it's also about being mindful of our surroundings. Things like loose rugs, cluttered floors, or even wearing slippers without good grip can turn an ordinary step into a hazard. So take a look around your home and see where you might make a few small changes. But here's the most important thing. Improving your balance isn't just about preventing falls. It's about keeping your independence, staying active, and feeling confident in your own body. And that's worth a few minutes of your day, don't you think? Now, we've covered the first steps. weight shifting and heel-to-toe walking. But there's more to it, and I'll share the next set of exercises that can help you build even more strength and stability. Because when it comes to balance, every little bit counts. You know, when I first started working on my balance, I'll admit, I was a little skeptical. I thought, how much difference can a few simple exercises really make? But after just a couple of weeks of doing them consistently, I noticed something surprising. Getting up from my chair felt smoother. Walking across the living room didn't require as much thought. And that little wobble I used to feel when I turned around, it was gone. That's the thing about balance. It's not just about standing still. It's about moving through our daily lives with confidence. So now that we've talked about weight shifting and heel-to-toe walking, let's build on that with a few more exercises that can really make a difference. First up, let's try single leg stands. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit tricky. And you're right, it can be challenging at first. But remember, we're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming for progress. Here's how to do it safely. Stand near a sturdy chair or countertop and lift one foot just a few inches off the ground. Start by holding it for just a second or two, then put your foot back down. As you get stronger, you can work your way up to 5 seconds, then 10. The goal isn't to see how long you can hold it. It's to do it without grabbing onto something for dear life. If you need to keep a finger on the chair for balance, that's okay. Over time, you'll find you need that support less and less. Now, here's a tip that really helped me. Focus on a spot on the wall in front of you. It's amazing how much that can steady you. And if you're feeling really unsteady, you can even start by doing this while sitting in a chair. Just lift one foot a little and hold it. The key is to engage those muscles and remind your body how to stay steady. Next, let's talk about side leg raises. This one is great because it strengthens the muscles along the sides of your hips, the ones that help keep you stable when you're walking or stepping sideways. Stand behind a chair and hold onto the back for support. Slowly lift one leg out to the side, keeping your toes pointing forward. You don't need to lift it high. Just a few inches is enough. Then lower it back down with control. Try doing 5 or 6 on each side. If that feels easy, you can let go of the chair for a little extra challenge. Now, here's something I don't want you to overlook. Chair squats. I know squats might sound like something only the grandkids do at the gym, but trust me, they're one of the best things you can do for your balance. Here's how to do them safely. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, one that won't slide, with your feet hip-width apart. Slowly lower yourself down until you're just barely touching the seat, then stand back up. The trick is to use your legs, not your hands, to push yourself up. If you need to, you can hold onto the arms of the chair at first, but as you get stronger, try to rely less on your arms and more on your legs. Why does this matter? Because the stronger your legs are, the easier it is to catch yourself if you start to lose your balance. And let's be honest, how many times have we all tripped a little, but managed to stay upright because our legs were strong enough to steady us? That's the power of these exercises. Now, I want to pause here and say something important. If any of these feel too difficult, or if you've had a fall recently, please don't push yourself too hard. It's okay to take it slow. You might even want to have someone nearby the first few times you try these, just to be safe. The goal isn't to rush, it's to build strength and confidence at your own pace. And here's another little secret. Balance isn't just about your legs. It's about your core too. Those muscles in your belly and back that help keep you upright. So let's add one more simple exercise. Seated marches. Sit tall in a chair, no slouching, and slowly lift one knee a few inches, then lower it. Alternate legs, like you're marching in place. Do this for about 30 seconds. It might not seem like much, but you'll feel it working those core muscles. And that's going to help your balance more than you might think. Now, I know we've covered a lot here. Single leg stands, side leg raises, chair squats, and seated marches. But before we move on, I want you to remember this. Consistency is key. It's better to do just a few minutes of these exercises every day than to do a long session once a week. Think of it like brushing your teeth. It's a small habit that adds up to big results over time. And speaking of results, in the next part, I'll share some final exercises and tips that can take your balance to the next level, because staying steady on your feet is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. After all, who doesn't want to move through their day with a little more ease and a lot more confidence? You know, there's a saying I've always liked. We don't stop moving because we grow old. We grow old because we stop moving. And when it comes to balance, that couldn't be more true. The exercises we've talked about so far, the weight shifts, the heel-to-toe walking, the single leg stands, they're all about keeping you moving with confidence. But there's one last piece of the puzzle I want to share with you, because it's made all the difference for me. Let's talk about Tai Chi. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Isn't that just slow motion karate? Well, not exactly. It's a gentle form of exercise that's been around for centuries, and it's fantastic for balance. The movements are slow, controlled, and flowing, almost like a dance. And the best part? You don't need to be flexible or athletic to do it. In fact, many of the exercises we've already done are like little pieces of Tai Chi. If you've never tried it before, here's a simple way to start. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, knees slightly bent. Now, imagine you're holding a big beach ball in front of you. Slowly move your hands in a circle, like you're rolling that ball from one side to the other. Breathe deeply as you do it. That's it. You're doing a basic Tai Chi movement. The key is to stay relaxed and focus on your breath. Just 5 minutes a day of this can help train your body to move with more control and stability. Now, let's talk about something we don't always think about: your feet. Did you know that the strength and flexibility of your feet play a huge role in your balance? As we age, our feet can stiffen up, especially if we're not moving them much. So, here's a simple exercise. Sit in a chair and roll a tennis ball, or even a soup can, under one foot for a minute or two. Then, point and flex your toes a few times. It feels great, and it keeps those feet nimble. And while we're on the subject of feet, let's talk shoes. I can't tell you how many times I've seen folks wearing slippers or sandals with no support, and then wondering why they feel unsteady. A good pair of shoes with non-slip soles can make a world of difference. Look for something with a firm heel, good arch support, and a sole that grips. Your feet and your balance will thank you. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about fear, because here's the truth. After a fall or Even after a close call, it's natural to feel a little nervous. You might start moving more carefully or avoiding certain activities altogether. But here's the thing, that fear can actually make your balance worse. When we move hesitantly, we're not using our muscles the way we should. So, how do we break that cycle? Start small. If you're nervous about walking without support, try this. Walk next to a counter or table where you can lightly touch it if needed, but try to rely on it less and less. Celebrate the small victories, like the day you realize you walked across the room without thinking about it. That's progress. And finally, let's not forget about hydration and nutrition. It might seem unrelated, but dehydration can make you feel dizzy, and weak muscles won't support you as well. Make sure you're drinking enough water and getting plenty of protein to keep those muscles strong. A handful of nuts, some yogurt, or an egg can go a long way. So let's bring this all together. You've got your daily balance exercises, weight shifts, heel-to-toe walking, single leg stands. You've got Tai Chi for fluid movement, foot exercises for a solid foundation, and the right shoes to keep you steady. You're mindful of your surroundings, staying hydrated, and most importantly, you're not letting fear hold you back. Remember, improving your balance isn't about perfection. It's about showing up for yourself, little by little, day by day. And the reward, more freedom, more confidence, and more joy in the things you love to do. So tell me in the comments, which of these tips are you going to try first? Have you already noticed a difference with some of the exercises? I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips to help you live your best life at any age. Here's to standing tall, moving with ease, and enjoying every step of the journey. You've got this. Take care.